Hello everybody, so today we bring you a brand new machine, not only new at the factory, a brand new design of machine. So we have teamed up today with RS Agri and they have given us exclusive access to their newest product, the eVobed eNOVA, okay? Fully electric, battery powered, pedestrian controlled cubicle cleaning brush. Okay, so RS Agri are not new to pedestrian controlled cubicle brushes. They already have the Nova in their range. So the Nova is engine powered, same dimensions, same kind of brush, does the same job, but it has an engine on. This is battery powered, like we said. So battery power in small items like this seems to be the way of the future. A lot of dairy farms, including ourselves, do have solar panels and therefore free access to power, which is a bonus point of this machine. Yeah, so what we're going to do in today's video, a little bit of the history behind why is it here, how do we come to get it, and also a full demonstration, real world kind of conditions just behind us in the cubicle house. So our involvement in this machine started back in probably October time. RS Agri got in touch with me. Would we be interested in trialing the prototype of this machine? Which we did. Once they'd finished building it, they brought the prototype here in early December. I think might have actually been the 1st of December. Okay, so we had the prototype here all the way through December, and I think 1 or maybe 10 days into January before it went off for trials on another farm. We got on very well with the prototype. We threatened to not let it go back again, but they came and took it away, even though we were going to arm wrestle them for it, but they said no, we're going to take it back. Anyway, so we'll just have a quick look around the machine. So the brush at the moment is in kind of transport position. It folds around to the side for working. Batteries are underneath the bonnet here, nice sleek design, and we get the kind of dashboard, if you like. Okay, so big main power switch in the center. This switch here controls your brush on and off, and this here is forwards and backwards motion. Okay, so it is kind of self-propelled, but it does have to be steered by by the handlebars. And on the back, and then on the handlebars there are two kind of triggers, I guess you would call them, hand levers. Okay, so one of them, so the right hand one, you squeeze that and it will move in whichever direction we're selected on the switch. Okay, and the left hand one, well, that gives you a second speed in forward motion. So I'm gonna do a little demo with that in a minute, but what it is, okay, so when you want to travel, you squeeze the right hand lever, and the second you let go, it stops. No brakes, it just stops on its own, and it will not roll away. You could park that on a hill and it would hold its position. Okay, so you don't need any brakes on it. And that right hand lever gives you your forward speed for working, for when your brush is running. That gives you the right speed to clean your cubicle bed. When you are driving to and from the cubicle house or turning on the end of your cubicle rows, if you squeeze your left hand lever, that gives you like a second speed for kind of empty running, but only in forwards. So it will not do 2 speeds backwards, it just has 1 speed backwards, but it does have a second speed for kind of transporting around the yard at a little bit quicker pace. So what we'll do, big main off switch here, turn them on, you can see we get some lights. So this is your forward reverse selector. At the moment he's selected into reverse, so we will squeeze the lever and he takes off. Nice and gentle, let go of the lever, it stops. Into forwards, exactly the same operation, let go, comes to a stop. The brush motor, we press the button, the brush starts. It's a nice steady start, and it runs up to kind of, that is working speed. Just touch him again, he comes off. So we set the brush running. So this would be your working speed. And get to the end of your run, press the button, brush stops, and then if you need to, which we do, this brush, when we had the prototype, it drove through that door into our vacuum pump room. That's where it lives, that's where we charge it. So it does fold down, the width wise to go through a standard door, which is nice and handy. Also, one thing we didn't have on the prototype, but it is on this machine, we get some LED lights, which I'm not going to do a lot today because it's bright, but they do illuminate your working area. That's a nice little extra feature. I think that'll be enough of a little introduction. I think what we'll do, let's get it out in the cubicle shed and clean some beds, see what it can do. Okay, so this is the working speed. The good feature of this machine, it has a differential on the axle and it makes a very tight turns in a confined place. Okay, so that's kind of working speed. So working speed, and the second. So the height of the brush, or the working height of the brush, is adjustable on this chain. And very simple, lift it up, just set your cubicle bed height on the chain, and away you go. So it is a fixed height, but easily adjustable as well at the same time. So the only thing to do now is go and make it dirty and clean some cubicles. So let's see how we go. Right, so here we go. Now it is test time. So as you will see, it is dirty. It has been used. As yet, I haven't used this machine. I actually only used the prototype one once. So I'm going to do cubicles today. Like I said, it has been used. We have been doing some battery life tests on it. I think that's an important thing we do for any kind of electric vehicle. Everybody wants to know what's the battery life. So we have been using it for a few days now to get an idea of what happens. And that will all be explained at the end of the video. Anyway, right, let's go and find some cubicles and clean them off. Right, so really easy to turn on. So we just lift up the big stop button. Our lights illuminate. So what we need to do, we need to select reverse on our direction switch. So put the tail of the switch towards reverse, squeeze this lever, and away we go. Right, it's a bit of a two-handed job to get it through the doorway. So I think this is a 3 foot wide doorway. It's a snug fit, but it does go. So this is kind of a, bit of an idea of what kind of gap it will fit through. Right, so here we go. You can see how clean it takes everything off. So it does take all the bedding off in its path, but it also all the wet and all the muck at the back there. I have just been told I'm taking too much off. That is because, like we said earlier on, I don't never drive this thing. Today is the most I've ever done it. 4 runs. I have done 2 runs before. Anyway, right, so Dad is here. You've used it quite a bit. The old one. Have you used this one or just a...
Yeah, I use it every morning.
Using it in the morning. So what do you think of it? And the job it does? And
well, it does a really good job. Excellent little machine.
It's better than a rake, isn't it?
Yeah, but yes, it is. But it takes longer, which is a problem.
What, longer than a rake?
Well, because this is better than the rake. I accept that. But when I'm turning the cows through, I have the rake, clean the beds, scrape it down.
What, put fresh over the top?
Pull the back, and it's nice.
Yeah, in the mornings.
Yeah, at night I bed them, so it doesn't make any difference. Now, whether we need to do it twice a day or not, we haven't debated it yet, but I'm wondering that. Whether once a day would be enough and once with the rake would be sufficient. Because you've got to go around with this in the morning, and then you've got to go back and do the raking, so you're taking your twice as long to do the same job, really. But it is a lot cleaner. What's your opinion, Ben?
A lot cleaner with brush.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
I don't reckon it's any slower.
Is it any slower going round twice?
Well, yes, there is, because 2 of us is doing it. That's what I'm saying. If you see what I mean.
In the morning?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But afternoons is quicker because it's whipped round. Then I bed them.
Yeah. It's taking a job out, isn't it?
Yes, but you can't clean it off with a rake like you can that.
No.
I mean, that is.
How long does it take? Because obviously I was messing with the camera. How long does it take you to come in, go around all the beds, and go out then?
I don't know.
10 minutes or less?
Less than that.
Yeah, to run
Well,
out.
as quickly as you can walk up and down. And
Oh yeah, I mean afternoons when I'm bedding them, it is a very fast job. I wonder if that's all we need to do.
don't know, but it's a lot cleaner and drier, isn't
Oh,
it?
we quite agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With it, but
Well, I don't know when we can negotiate. When they got it perfected exactly, and we got to negotiate a decent price, we'll probably have one. But negotiating a decent price yet, Don?
Don doesn't do price.
We might this time.
So one of the biggest advantages we can see of a electric brush over a petrol or diesel, basically the advantage we can see of an electric powered brush over an engine powered brush is the noise. Our cows, for some reason, they seem to be pretty nervous. If anybody strange comes, they're always up and looking, and you know, they can be a bit upset. This machine, it's not silent, but it is very quiet. The motors do whine a little bit, but there's certainly no engine noise to it, and they're fine with it. They're not upset. I don't know if you would drive it through the cows. You can certainly brush the far side beds while this side cubicles are still entering into the collecting yard. So yeah, the biggest thing is the noise, or the lack of noise. Obviously the brush is going to make a noise on the bed anyway, that's just unavoidable, but there's the little whine of the motors is far quieter than an engine revving away if it was running like hydraulic pumps and motors and whatnot. So that's the biggest advantage we can see, and you don't have to keep going buying petrol. You just plug it in, charge it up, and away you go. So there we go, that is the eNOVA in action. So you have seen the brushing working now. Nowadays electric or battery powered vehicles are getting reasonably common, and the biggest question always the first question anybody asks about a battery vehicle of anything, car, one of these, whatever it happens to be, what battery life does it have? So this runs on two 12-volt tractor type batteries. They're not tractor batteries, they're leisure batteries, but they look like a tractor battery. So it runs on two 12-volt batteries combined to give it a 24-volt system. It charges just on a standard plug, so nice and easy. Just plug it in, plug the charger into the machine, and away it goes. Battery life is, so for this machine, we have done, like we said earlier on, done some experiments with battery life, and the prototype we had in December, we did the same. Batteries are the same as the prototype, so we know what life we can get out of it, and this one is no different. So our cubicle house that you saw us doing, to go around every bed of that, there is 124 beds in our cubicle house. This machine will do 4 trips around the house, so morning, night, 2 days in a row. So that gives us 496 cubicles cleaned per charge, plus obviously running backwards and forwards to putting it away and getting out again. There's a little bit of running there. So in the winter, when we didn't have any spare solar power, I would charge every other night. Okay, so plug it in after milking, it's charged again, ready for the next morning. So that's charged every 4 runs of the cubicle house. So just short of 500 beds. On the odd occasion, I did forget to plug it in, and it ended up doing 5 trips round. So that was then 620 beds cleaned, and it still did it. It was getting low at the end of that, but it still cleaned every bed. The motor, the brush motor still had enough power. It was still cleaning well, and it drove itself back to be charged. So it will do, so it's fairly safe to say this will do between 500 and 600 beds per charge. Now things have changed a little bit now. We're later in the year. We're into March now when this machine is here. And we do now have spare solar power in the daytime. So what I've tended to be doing now is plugging it in every day to get those few hours of daylight. It won't, depending on your milking time, your gap in your milking times, the gap we have, it won't do a full 500 bed charge in daytime. Okay, so that's why we plugged it in the winter overnight. It's a longer time, and we just didn't have any spare solar power in the winter. In the summer we do, so plug it in daily, keep it topped up, and then you can run it for nothing, basically. So there we go. Battery life is good, and even you can forget to charge it, and it will still go on. Just don't forget to charge it twice. So there we go. So battery life is more than adequate, certainly for our needs, and then depending on how many beds you've got, you can work out would it suit you. So I'll put the website link down in the description box for RS Agri. Go and check it out, and tell them where you saw it. Tell them you saw it on this channel. So the final big question is, will we be making a purchase of an eNOVA? They're not quite in production yet. They will be in production this year, and I would very much hope we can have one here ready for autumn housing. So that is the aim, to get one of these bought, ready for the autumn. So that's what we're hoping to do. So there we go. So that is the end of this little trial/demo video. So firstly, we need to say thank you very much to RS Agri for firstly letting us have this, for letting us get involved in the prototype, and then letting us have the very first on-farm test of the production machine. And here it is. And yes, we're very pleased with it, and I hope it goes on to do well for them. So there we go. So that's it. I would say thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we won't be needing one of these for too much longer, because we need to get the cows out in the fields, not in the beds, but weather is not allowing at the minute. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.